Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Wow.
We love to take these deep dives into what makes people tick, and
Yeah.
today we're looking at success. What is it? What makes people successful?
Right.
What can we learn from folks who have made it? And we've got this really interesting compilation of points
Oh, yeah?
that we're going to dig into today, and it's
Yeah.
called Placed Text.
Okay.
So kind of a mysterious title.
Yeah. Very,
Very intriguing, and I think you're going to find some really cool stuff in here.
absolutely. I mean, just glancing at this compilation, it's packed with just these like really practical nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah, and it's really about, it's not just about like,
Right.
being successful in business
Uh-huh.
or, some kind of external measure of success, but it's really about finding your own unique path to whatever success means to you.
Yeah, I love that. And it really cuts right to the chase, I think.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that struck me immediately is just how direct and actionable these points are.
Yeah.
Like it's not getting bogged down in a lot of theory or fluff. It's just here's what you need to do to start moving forward.
Right. And that's so true. And like one of the first points is just like, bam, right in your face.
Yeah.
It says, slow success is better than no attempt at all.
Oh, I love that.
And
That's so powerful.
that really resonated with me because I think so often we
Yeah.
get caught up in this idea of like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to be successful right now
Right.
or else I'm a failure.
Totally.
But this is saying like, hey, slow and steady wins a race.
Yeah, it's that long game.
Yeah.
You know, it's about consistency. It's about building something meaningful over time.
And it's
Yeah.
really like kind of a reassuring thought too, because
Right.
not everybody is going to be an overnight success.
Right.
But, as long as you're making some kind of progress, even if it's slow.
You're still moving in the right direction.
Exactly. And I think it speaks to the power of momentum too,
Yeah.
Even if your progress is gradual, just the act of moving forward creates this kind of positive feedback loop, like each small win, each step you take builds your confidence, it builds your motivation, and it makes it easier to keep going.
So it's really not about
Yeah,
that
that's not about the destination.
the destination. It's more about the journey.
It's about the journey.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly
Yeah.
into, I think, like the next point that really stood out to me, which is all about taking action.
Oh, yeah. This is a big one.
This compilation is very clear that the only way to know if our dreams are even achievable is to get up and take action.
Stop thinking about it.
Stop thinking about it. Stop planning. Stop, overanalyzing.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a simple but profound message because it's so easy to get stuck in our heads.
Yeah.
We overthink.
Yeah, we overthink. We get paralyzed by fear of failure or, fear of the unknown.
Oh, absolutely. And that I think is where a lot of people
Right.
get tripped up is like, what if I fail?
Yeah, what if it doesn't work out?
What if I make a fool of myself?
Right.
And this compilation.
Think of this compilation addresses that head on, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
It doesn't shy away from it.
it's like acknowledging like, yeah, that's a thing.
Point number 2 specifically says, like, don't let fear hold you back from trying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, embrace the possibility of failure. Even if things don't go exactly as planned, there's immense value in the experience itself.
Right. And I think that's what
It's all part of the process.
we learn so much from our failures.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
you can read all the books you want, you can listen to all the podcasts,
Right.
but until you actually go out there and do something
Literally.
and make mistakes
Yeah.
and learn from them,
Right.
you're not really going to grow.
You're not going to fully internalize it.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and that kind of brings us to this next point,
Yeah.
which is,
Yeah, which
It's-
is all about self-belief.
self-belief. Yeah. It's
Point number 3 is like all about that.
it's saying like, look, no matter what anyone else says, believing in yourself is absolutely essential
Yeah.
for achieving your goals.
You got to trust your gut.
You got to trust your instincts, you got to trust your bodies, and you can't let anyone tell you what you can and can't do.
And
Yeah.
that's so powerful because it's like it's
Mm.
giving you permission to dream big.
It's like giving yourself permission to believe in your own potential, even if other people don't see it yet.
Right.
And I think this ties back to action as well, because, the more you act on your beliefs, the stronger those beliefs become. It's a
Exactly.
self-reinforcing cycle.
Like the more you put yourself out there,
Yeah.
the more you,
Yeah. The more you
put
do the
time-
things that scare you, the more you realize, like, hey, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of all the people who were told they would never make it.
Oh, yeah.
Countless
stories.
All the successful entrepreneurs, musicians, actors, artists,
Right.
who were told, like, no, you're not good enough.
You'll never make it.
You'll never make it.
You're not talented enough.
No.
You're not the right, whatever.
Right.
And they just kept going.
Yeah.
Because they believed in themselves.
You had that unwavering belief.
Yeah.
That inner fire.
And this compilation.
Yeah. This compilation also acknowledges that self-belief is really closely linked to learning and growth.
Yeah.
Right? It's suggesting that you can't truly develop as a person without getting your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Without actually like doing the work.
So it's not enough to just, sit in a classroom.
It's not enough to just read books or attend workshops.
Or read a book.
You got to actually apply what you're learning.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and experiment in the real world.
It's like the difference between, reading about how to ride a bike and actually getting on the bike and falling down a few times.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
The theoretical knowledge is important.
Yeah.
But it's the practical experience that really transforms us.
Yeah, you got to skin your knees a little bit.
Yeah, skin your knees, you got to get back up, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Through trial and error.
And that leads us to point number 5, which I thought was really interesting. It talks about self-directed learning.
Yeah.
Being really key to success.
I love that.
It's about taking ownership of your education and really going beyond.
It's about being curious, being proactive,
Yeah.
and actively seeking out the information and experiences that will help you grow.
Yeah. It's not
It's about realizing that.
waiting for somebody to teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The world is your classroom.
The world is your classroom. There's always something new to learn.
Yeah. And you can find information and
it's closely tied to this idea of self-investment.
Yeah, self-investment.
Which we see later in this compilation, investing in yourself, whether it's through courses, books, travel, or simply dedicating time to your personal development is a key ingredient for success.
It's about recognizing your own value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about betting on yourself.
And that's something you build.
Yeah.
It's not something you're born with.
It's a muscle that you develop over time.
Right. So what are some areas that you've invested in yourself? I mean,
oh man, so many.
What are some things that our listeners can?
Well, I think a big one for me has been, just constantly seeking out new knowledge and new skills.
Yeah.
Whether it's through reading books, taking online courses, attending workshops. I'm always trying to expand my horizons and learn new things.
Yeah. And I think it's not just about, the skills themselves.
Right.
But it's about
the mindset.
Keeping your mind sharp.
It's about staying curious. It's about staying engaged.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is really valuable no matter what field you're in.
So it sounds like placed text is really kind of encouraging people to...
It's definitely encouraging people to be proactive.
Yeah.
To be
and not
self-starters.
But not wait for things to happen to them.
Yeah, don't wait for permission.
Yeah.
Don't wait for someone to give you the answers. Go out there and find them yourself.
And that kind of leads us to this interesting distinction that this compilation makes between successful people and people who just daydream.
Oh, yeah.
So it's saying that success isn't about just like wishing for things to happen.
Yeah.
It's about
actively nurturing those dreams.
Yeah.
And turning them into reality.
Taking those daydreams and like making them into concrete goals and actions.
Point number 9 specifically says that successful people don't just daydream. They turn those dreams into tangible plans. And then they execute those plans with dedication and persistence.
So it's about like moving beyond the realm of fantasy and into the realm of action.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it ties back to self-belief as well.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in your dreams, you're unlikely to put in the effort required to make them a reality.
Yeah. It's like this compilation is saying like...
It's like, don't let your dreams just stay dormant, Yeah. Nurture them, believe in them, and then take action to bring them to life.
And it's a powerful message.
And what I love about this compilation is that it acknowledges that the path to success isn't always a straight line.
Oh, it's never a straight line.
It's going to be messy.
Yeah.
There's going to be setbacks.
There's going to be twists and turns.
You're going to trip. You're going to fall.
You're going to hit roadblocks.
But it's about getting back up and learning from those experiences.
And that's where point number 6 comes in.
Yeah.
Which specifically talks about the importance of persistence,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the face of rejection.
Yeah, you're going to get rejected.
You're going to hear
You're going to get doors slammed in your face.
You're going to get knocked down.
But you got to keep going.
But you got to get back up.
Yeah.
You got to dust yourself off and keep moving forward.
It's like that saying.
You fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about not letting those setbacks define you.
Yeah.
It's about learning from them, adapting, and finding a way to keep moving forward.
And
this
the
compilation
goes even deeper than that.
Yeah, it doesn't just tell us to persist blindly.
Yeah.
Like
sometimes you got to create your own paths.
Sometimes you got to create your own opportunities.
Yeah.
Because the path we envision isn't always readily available.
Right.
So we have to be willing to forge our own way.
To blaze a trail.
To blaze a trail.
Yeah.
To be pioneers.
And that might mean,
being
a little bit rebellious.
Yeah, a little bit rebellious.
Maybe going against the grain.
A little bit unconventional.
Yeah.
Point number 7 suggests that sometimes we have to create our own ladder to success because the traditional routes might not be accessible to us.
Right.
And
maybe you're
it's about having the courage.
The first one in your family?
Yeah.
To go to college or to start a business?
To break the mold. To define your own path.
There is no ladder.
Yeah.
You got to build it.
You got to build it yourself.
Yeah.
And that takes guts.
Yeah. And that's what this compilation is really encouraging is
Yeah.
Step outside of...
It's about taking ownership of your journey.
Yeah.
And not waiting for someone to hand you opportunities.
Yeah. Don't wait for somebody to give you permission.
Right.
To...
Go out there and create your own permission.
To be successful, to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
And that brings us to this next point.
Yeah.
Which is
all about defining your own dreams.
Yeah.
It's challenging this notion of following a predetermined path to success.
Yeah.
And it's emphasizing the importance of...
everybody's got their own unique path.
Defining your own dreams.
Yeah.
And
not following.
Point number 11.
Yeah.
Specifically says, create and follow your own dreams.
Yeah.
Don't work to fulfill someone else's vision.
Yeah.
It's about staying true to yourself.
Yeah. And
pursuing what truly matters to you.
That's so important because, I think especially in today's world,
right,
we're bombarded with these messages about what success is supposed to look like.
Oh, absolutely.
You're supposed to have the big house.
The fancy car.
The perfect...
2.5 kids.
The Instagrammable life,
And this compilation is saying, no, screw that.
Forget all that.
Figure out what truly brings you.
Yeah, what brings you fulfillment.
Yeah, what is your definition of success?
Yeah.
And it might not look anything like.
It might look completely different.
What society tells you it should look like, right? And that ties beautifully into another point that comes up later in the compilation.
Okay.
Which is all about the power of individuality.
Okay.
It's suggesting that having a unique identity is actually a selling point.
That's interesting.
For successful people.
Yeah, so instead of trying to fit in or conform to what everybody else is doing, be weird.
Embrace what makes you different.
Be different.
And use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of scary.
It can be scary.
To think about.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly liberating.
Kind of exciting.
It is. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Because it gives you permission to just be yourself.
Yeah. And not worry about.
Authentically.
Yeah.
And unapologetically. What other people think.
Point number 15 specifically emphasizes that your uniqueness is a strength, not a weakness. It might present challenges, but it also sets you apart. It makes you memorable.
And that's what people remember.
Yeah. People remember the people who are different.
You think about the people who have made an impact on your life.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers, the mentors, the friends.
Yeah, the people who weren't afraid to...
The people who stood out.
Yeah, to stand out.
Yeah, and
to be bold.
That's what this compilation is saying.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to.
Don't be afraid to be different.
To stand out.
Be bold.
Yeah.
Be authentic.
Be your weird, wonderful self.
Let your individuality shine.
And
that leads us
to one of the most
thought-provoking ideas in this compilation.
Yeah, I was going to say this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's this idea of embracing failure.
Embracing failure.
Now, how can failure be a good thing?
Right. That might sound counterintuitive at first.
Yeah, it sounds like the opposite of success.
Right. But this compilation really reframes failure as a crucial element of growth.
So it's not about avoiding failure at all costs.
It's not about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about seeing failure as an opportunity
Yeah.
to learn and improve.
It's about getting messy.
Point number 12 actually says that failure is the best thing in life.
Wow. Okay.
Which I know might sound crazy.
Yeah.
But
they're making a point.
But when you think about it,
Yeah.
failure provides us with these invaluable learning experiences.
Yeah.
Unforgettable stories.
Yeah, like those are the stories you tell at parties.
Right.
Yeah.
And most importantly, it's a step towards success.
You know what they say? You learn more from your failures
You do.
than you do from your successes.
You learn more from your mistakes
Yeah.
than you do from your triumphs.
And this
Yeah.
compilation is saying like
It's highlighting that each time we fail, we gain these valuable insights that we can then use to refine our approach and get closer to our goals.
It's at that famous Thomas Edison quote about
About finding 10,000 ways.
1,000 ways.
That didn't work.
That didn't work.
Before he finally invented the light bulb.
Hey, he's like, I didn't fail.
Yeah.
I just found 10,000 ways
It's
to work.
It's a different perspective.
And point number 13 really builds on this.
It describes this cyclical nature of success.
Yeah.
It's not linear.
It's not like a straight line.
It's not a straight line. It's a spiral.
Yeah.
You step out from the starting point. You fail and you learn.
Yeah.
You reach success, then you fail and you learn again.
Yeah.
And it's this continuous process.
So you're constantly moving forward.
Yeah.
But you're also circling back.
Circling back and integrating what you've learned from those setbacks.
And I think that's a really important point to remember.
It is.
Because I think so often we get discouraged when we hit a roadblock.
Right. And we think, oh, this is it. I'm done.
I'm a failure.
Yeah.
I'm never going to make it.
Yeah.
But this compilation is saying like, no, that's just part of the process.
That's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
Embrace the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Recognize that failure is just as much a part of it as success is.
And it makes me think of all those successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Who
We had multiple
failed businesses.
Before
they hit on the one.
Before they hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
And
if they had given up.
And their resilience.
Yeah.
And their ability to learn from those failures.
Yeah.
Was ultimately what led to their success.
They never would have made it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's so important to remember.
And this compilation
also
acknowledges that being different and taking risks can sometimes lead to criticism and comparison.
Oh, yeah. You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, you're going to get judged.
People
are going to have opinions.
People are going to talk.
And point number 16 specifically addresses this.
What does it say?
It says, we must accept being compared because it ultimately leads to personal development.
Okay.
So instead of letting criticism and comparison discourage us, we should see them as opportunities for growth and self-reflection.
So it's like, instead of letting those negative voices hold you back, you use them to fuel your journey.
Turn them into fuel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really powerful
way
to think about it.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings us to this...
It brings us to this question.
This crucial question of like, what does success actually mean?
Yeah.
What
does it really mean to be successful? Is it about external validation?
Yeah. Is it about, money and fame and...
Is it about material possessions?
Yeah.
Or is there something deeper at play?
Yeah.
And
I think this compilation is really challenging us.
It is.
To define success on our own terms.
Yeah.
And
point number 17 acknowledges that the path to success will inevitably involve difficulties, obstacles, and possible failures.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah.
You know there are going to be challenges.
I need blood, sweat, and tears.
There are going to be times when you want to give up.
Yeah.
But it also highlights that inspiration is what helps us navigate those challenges.
Okay. So finding sources of inspiration.
Finding that inspiration
That's
keeps you
pretty
going.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do we find inspiration?
Where do we find it?
I mean, it's different for everybody, right?
It is. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I find inspiration in nature.
Yeah.
I find inspiration in art. I find inspiration in music.
Yeah.
I find inspiration in the stories of other people who have overcome adversity.
I love that. Yeah.
But it's really about identifying what truly ignites your passion.
Yeah, what lights you up.
What lights you up and drives you forward.
And I think that's what leads to...
And that ties back to the idea of doing what you love.
Yeah.
Which this compilation presents as the ultimate measure of success. Point number 18 emphasizes that true success lies in finding joy and fulfillment in your pursuits.
Yeah. It's not about the money.
It's not about the external validation.
It's
not about the accolades.
Yeah.
It's about finding that internal sense of satisfaction.
It's about doing something that makes you want to get up in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about aligning your work
Feeling good about what you do.
with your passions.
Yeah.
And creating a life that feels both meaningful and rewarding.
And that's what this compilation is really all about, I think.
I think so too.
Is encouraging people to...
It's about encouraging us to think differently about success, to define it on our own terms, and to pursue it.
And to pursue it with passion and purpose.
With passion. It's interesting, this whole idea of success not being handed to you. It's not like...
It's not a lottery ticket.
Yeah, it's not a lottery ticket. It's not something you just stumble upon.
Got to work for it.
Yeah, you got to
hustle.
Put in the effort.
Yeah.
And this compilation actually uses a really powerful metaphor to illustrate that point.
Okay, what's that?
The ladder of success.
The ladder of success.
Yeah. Point number 19 specifically says, instead of waiting for someone to pull us up, we need to build our own ladder and climb it ourselves.
Yeah. So build your own ladder.
Build your own ladder.
Build your own lad.
Don't wait for somebody to...
Don't wait for a handout.
Yeah, to give you a ladder.
Don't wait for someone to build it for you.
Yeah.
You got to create your own opportunities, you know? And that's...
Really true.
Point number 20 really reinforces this.
Okay.
By saying that, opportunity often depends on the effort we put into seeking and creating it.
That it's going to fall in your lap.
Yeah. You can't just sit back and wait for good things to happen.
Yeah, you got to go out there and make it happen.
You're going to be actively engaged in creating those opportunities for yourself.
That saying, luck is what happens.
Yeah.
When preparation meets opportunity.
Exactly.
So you got to be prepared.
You got to be ready.
When that opportunity comes knocking.
When that door opens, you got to be ready to walk through it.
And you got to be knocking on a lot of doors.
You got to be knocking on a lot of doors. You got to be putting yourself out there.
Networking, building relationships, showcasing your talents.
Yeah.
And
even if
you face rejection along the way.
You get rejected a lot.
You will get rejected.
Yeah.
It's part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of
the journey. But you can't let it discourage you.
Right, because you were talking about failure earlier.
Exactly. That's all part of it.
Failure is just part of the game.
You got to fail your way to success.
You got to fail forward.
Yeah.
And this compilation
reminds us
that even one opportunity,
yeah,
one connection,
yeah,
one moment of inspiration can change everything.
It just takes that one...
It just takes that one spark.
Yeah, that one.
To ignite the fire.
Yeah, and it could happen.
Yeah.
At any moment.
At any moment.
So you just got to be ready.
So stay open to possibilities.
Yeah.
Be ready to seize the moment when it arrives.
And that's what I love about this compilation. It's it's acknowledging that
It's acknowledging
life is unpredictable.
Life is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Things don't always go according to plan.
Right. And you might think you're working towards one thing.
Yeah.
And then something completely different happens.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And it ends up being the best thing that could have happened.
Sometimes those detours lead you to exactly where you're supposed to be.
It makes me think of all those successful people who had their big break seemingly out of nowhere.
Right.
But
But when you look closer.
You realize
They've been putting in the work.
They've been grinding.
Yeah.
They've been building their skills.
They've been making those connections.
They've been hustling behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So that when that opportunity finally presents itself,
Yeah.
they're ready.
They're ready.
They're prepared to seize it.
And they don't hesitate.
And they don't let fear hold them back.
Yeah.
And
And speaking of confidence, you know, we talked earlier about this whole idea of
embracing your individuality.
your
Yeah.
unique identity.
Yeah. I want to dive a little deeper into that.
Yeah, what does that even mean? Like,
What does it mean?
to have a unique identity?
Yeah, and how does that translate into success?
Yeah.
Well, point number 15
Yeah.
suggests that having a unique identity
Okay.
can actually be a selling point for successful people.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to like fit in,
Don't try to be like everyone else.
yeah, to be weird,
Be
be different.
be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Embrace those quirks,
And
those things that make you different.
use them
to your advantage.
to your advantage. And
So it's like
Like,
instead
so
of hiding those things that make you unique.
yeah,
Like those are the
those
things
are your superpowers.
that you should be celebrating.
Yeah.
Think about some of the most successful people you admire.
Okay.
What sets them apart?
Yeah.
Often it's their unique perspective, their unconventional approach, their willingness to challenge the status quo. So it's
That's
like,
afraid.
don't be afraid
Don't be afraid.
to stand out,
To be different.
to stand out from the crowd.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
And this compilation acknowledges
Yeah.
that being different.
It can be hard.
It can be hard.
Yeah.
It can make it harder to gain acceptance.
People might not get it.
People might not understand you.
Yeah.
But this compilation frames this as an opportunity
Okay.
for growth and resilience.
Well, it's like turning that,
It's about staying true to yourself.
yeah,
Even when it feels like you're going against the grain.
like turning that adversity into strength.
Turning that resistance into fuel.
Yeah.
And it's like
I like
this compilation is saying,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to be different. Embrace your quirks.
Yeah.
Embrace your passions.
Yeah.
Embrace your unique way of seeing the world.
Like, that's what makes you special.
That's what makes you special.
Yeah.
That's what makes you valuable.
And
That reminds me.
this kind of ties into what we were talking about before.
Yeah, it ties into
That's self-investment.
self-investment.
You know, it's about taking care of yourself.
Taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Investing in your own growth and development.
Uh-huh.
And point number 8
Yeah.
specifically highlights this.
Okay.
It encourages us to invest time and energy
Yeah.
in activities that nurture our overall well-being.
So it's not just about like,
It's not just about professional development.
yeah,
It's about
like, you know,
physical, mental,
mental,
and emotional well-being.
emotional. Yeah.
It could be anything from,
Taking care of your whole self.
yeah,
Yeah.
reading books and taking courses
Yeah.
to practicing mindfulness
Yeah.
and spending time in nature.
Whatever fills you up.
Whatever fills you, whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah.
It's about
Recharging your battery.
recharging your batteries.
Yeah.
Prioritizing your own growth.
Yeah.
Recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't give to others
Yeah.
if you're not taking care of yourself.
You got to fill your own cup first.
Yeah.
And when we invest in ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we're essentially investing in our future success and happiness.
I like that.
It's like putting money in the bank,
Yeah.
but the returns are immeasurable.
Yeah. You get dividends for life.
Dividends for life, exactly.
Now, before we move on,
Yeah.
I want to circle back to something
Okay.
we discussed earlier.
Mhm.
This idea of inspiration,
Inspiration.
this compilation,
Yeah.
suggests that like
Hmm.
finding sources of inspiration can really help you
Absolutely.
get through those tough times.
Yeah. Point number 17
Okay.
reminds us
Yeah.
that the road to success is rarely smooth.
There's going to be bumps in the road,
There's going to be bumps
There's
in the
gonna be-
road. There's going to be detours, roadblocks, potholes.
Yeah. Wrong turns.
There are going to be times when you question everything,
Mm-hmm.
when you feel lost,
Yeah.
when you want to give up. But having sources of inspiration
Yeah.
can help us stay motivated
Yeah.
and keep moving forward.
So where do we find inspiration?
Where do we find it?
I mean, it's different for everybody, right?
It is. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
For some people, it might be
Yeah.
mentors,
Yeah.
role models,
Mm-hmm.
books,
Books are great.
art, nature.
I love nature.
Nature.
Nature is very inspiring.
Even our own past experiences.
Yeah.
The key is to be open to finding inspiration
Yeah. Just look for it.
wherever you can.
Yeah. Keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
Keep your mind open.
And your heart open.
And your heart open. And allow yourself to be inspired by the world around you.
And that really ties into
And that ties beautifully
doing what you love.
Doing what you love.
Yeah.
Which this compilation really presents as the ultimate measure of success.
Yeah. Point number 18.
Point number 18.
Says it all.
Emphasizes that true success lies in finding joy and fulfillment in your pursuits.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it's not about that external validation.
It's not about the fame.
Okay.
It's not about the accolades.
Feeling good about what you do.
It's about finding that internal sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
It's about doing something.
Waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
Excited.
That makes you want to get out of bed in the morning.
To go to work.
That lights you up.
Yeah.
That makes you feel alive.
Yeah, and I think this compilation is really driving that point home.
It's reminding us.
That success is a journey, not a destination. It's about embracing the process.
Yeah.
Learning from our experiences.
Yeah.
And constantly striving to become the best versions of ourselves.
It's about evolving.
It's about growing.
It's about
becoming
a better person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this compilation reminds us.
And it's not linear.
It's not linear.
Yeah.
It's not a straight line.
It's messy.
It's messy. It's chaotic.
You're going to take some wrong turns.
You're going to make mistakes.
You're going to have to backtrack.
You're going to have to adjust course.
But you're always moving forward.
As long as you're moving.
In some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's so important.
It is.
To remember, because
it's easy to get caught up in the idea of like,
I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Making progress fast enough.
Yeah.
But as long as you're moving.
Yeah.
You're good.
You're on the right track.
Yeah.
And it's so celebrate those small wins.
Celebrate the small wins.
Yeah.
Acknowledge your progress.
Because that's how you stay motivated.
Because that's what keeps you going.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's about enjoying the journey.
It's about enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
It's about embracing the ups and downs.
The highs and the lows.
The highs and the lows.
Yeah.
Celebrating the wins.
Yeah.
Learning from the setbacks.
And never losing sight of what truly matters.
What truly matters to you.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive into placed text, I'm realizing that success is not...
It's so personal.
One size fits all.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know, and this compilation really encourages us to move beyond those external markers of success.
Like the fancy cars.
Yeah, the title.
The big house.
The accolades, the material possessions.
Yeah.
You know, and to really focus on what truly matters.
What matters to you?
Finding fulfillment and happiness.
Yeah.
In our pursuits.
It's about defining success on your own terms.
Defining it on your own terms, not by society standards.
Yeah, forget what society says.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's about creating a life.
What you want.
That feels authentic.
Yeah.
And aligned with your values and aspirations.
And your values.
It's about pursuing your passions.
Yeah.
Embracing your individuality. And using your unique strengths to make a positive impact on the world.
And it's about remembering that, you know, that path
to success
is not always a straight
is rarely linear.
Yeah.
There's going to be there's going to be challenges.
Bumps in the road.
Setbacks, moments of doubt.
You're going to get lost.
Absolutely. You don't want to give up.
Yeah.
But that's
where the growth is.
Those are the moments where the greatest growth occurs.
Yeah.
It's in those times of uncertainty that we discover our resilience.
Yeah.
We tap into our inner strengths.
We learn who we
refine our approach. Yeah. You know, and in this compilation,
those challenges
doesn't shy away from those difficulties.
Make you stronger.
Instead, it reminds us that they're an integral part of the journey.
Like you're not going to grow if you don't go through.
You've got to go through the fire.
Some crap.
To become the steel.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to get a little dirty.
Yeah.
And
it reminds us that we don't have to navigate those challenges alone.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like find your people.
Find your tribe.
Yeah.
Build your support network.
Find your mentors.
Yeah, we talked about inspiration earlier.
Yeah.
But this compilation also highlights the importance of seeking guidance and support from others.
Yeah, like don't be afraid to ask for help.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know?
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people who believe in you.
Yeah, who support you.
Who challenge you to grow.
Yeah.
Who celebrate your wins along the way.
Mentors.
Colleagues.
Friends. Family. They can all play a vital role. Yeah, your family.
In our journey to success.
And then when you find success.
And then you pay it forward.
Help others.
Yeah. Offer your own support and guidance.
Yeah, be a mentor.
To others who are on their own paths.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a beautiful cycle of growth and empowerment, you know?
We lift each other up.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, all lift each other up.
As we bring this
Yeah.
deep dive to a close, I want to ask you, like, what is the one
What's the one key
takeaway that you hope our listener will?
that you hope our listeners will take away from this conversation?
Yeah.
For me, it's the power of taking action.
Taking action.
You know, it's about moving beyond the realm of ideas and dreams and actually putting those thoughts into motion.
Make it happen.
Yeah, it's about taking that first step, even if it's small.
Yeah.
And then consistently moving forward.
Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis.
Don't get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
You know, just start moving.
Yeah.
And believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Even when faced with doubt.
Yeah. Trust your gut.
Trust your instincts.
Trust your instincts.
Trust your abilities.
And trust your vision.
Trust your vision for the future.
Yeah.
You know, it's about having the courage to pursue your dreams.
Yeah.
Even if they seem unconventional or challenging.
Even if they seem crazy.
Even if they seem impossible. Because the truth is,
anything is possible.
Anything is possible if you set your mind to it.
I love that.
And I think that's a perfect note to end on. You know,
Yeah.
This deep dive into place text has offered
so many good insights.
So many valuable insights about finding our own unique paths to success.
And it's really up to each of us.
But it's up to each of us to take those insights and translate them into action.
So to wrap up this episode, I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Okay.
What small step can you take today to move towards your own definition of success?
Such a good question.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
It
could be reaching out to a mentor.
Yeah.
It could be starting a new project.
To get a new project.
It could be learning a new skill.
Learning a new skill.
It could be simply taking some time for self-reflection.
Yeah.
You know, the key is to identify what resonates with you from this deep dive.
What spoke to you.
And then translate that inspiration into action.
Yeah. And remember, even the smallest step.
Even the tiniest step.
Can make a difference.
Can set in motion.
Yeah.
A chain of events that can lead.
That can have a ripple effect.
To remarkable transformations. So go out there.
Go out there.
Embrace the journey.
Embrace the journey.
And create the life you envision yourself.
Create the life you want.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell you.
Don't let anyone tell you.
What you can and cannot do.
What you can and can't do.
Yeah.
You are capable of amazing things.
You are powerful.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for tuning in.
On this deep dive.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Keep learning.
Keep growing.
Keep growing and keep striving for your own definition of success.
Absolutely.